I'm Russ Mitchell. Crash questions. Why did a Blue Angels jet smash into South Carolina homes? Joey Chen investigates. The next step in healing at Virginia Tech. Sharon Alfonsi reports on students returning to campus. Smokin' Joe Frazier. Byron Pitts talks to the former heavyweight champ about his feud with Muhammad Ali. And Earth Day 2007. John Blackstone profiles a man with a mission to preserve and protect his corner of the earth.
This is the CBS Evening News with Russ Mitchell.
And good evening. The nation's Top Gun pilots remain stunned this evening, one day after the rare crash of a Blue Angels jet killed one pilot before thousands of horrified spectators. It happened in South Carolina near the end of an air show by the elite air squadron at the Marine Corps Air Station Beaufort. The dead pilot has now been identified as 32-year-old Navy Lieutenant Commander Kevin Davis. Correspondent Joey Chen has the latest.
In a somber salute to one of the Navy's highest flyers, a team of 6 jets flew the traditional missing man formation at the start of the air show today. One peeling off to honor the FA-18 Hornet and its pilot, lost when the jet plummeted into a neighborhood near the airbase.
We still have debris all over some of the highways, and it's very difficult to get in, and they do not want to move into that until all the investigators have been on the scene.
During their shows, the Blue Angels come within inches of each other. And yesterday, the accident happened as the team was doing a maneuver in which all 6 jets come together in a triangle formation.
They dipped down below the tree line, and when they came back up, only 5 came back up, and then just right at that second, we saw the black smoke come up from behind the trees.
There were pieces of airplane everywhere and small fires everywhere.
Officials say 32-year-old Lieutenant Commander Kevin Davis was killed in the crash. His parents were in the crowd. A Navy veteran, Davis flew 26 combat missions in Afghanistan before joining the squad as Blue Angel number 6 nearly 2 years ago.
Every morning, you kind of pinch yourself. You're like, wow, I get to put on this suit. I get to fly that airplane. Everybody knows what it is.
Davis said becoming a Blue Angel had long been a dream he'd kept secret, one that ended under the blue sky of the Carolina Lowcountry yesterday.
Investigators have picked up some debris, but they say it may take weeks for them to figure out exactly what went wrong, Russ.
Joy, what about spectators or people living in the area? Any injuries to report there?
Yeah, 8 people were reported hurt, Russ, but officials say none of them has life-threatening injuries, which is nearly miraculous when you consider the enormous crowds that gather for these air shows and the tremendous speed this jet must have been traveling before the crash.
That's true. Joey Chen in Washington, thank you very much. More than 24 million Americans go to air shows in the U.S. every year. Only Major League Baseball draws more fans. While the spectacles are breathtaking, are they safe? In the last 20 years, more than 150 spectators have been killed in air show crashes involving military demonstration teams. The deadliest was in the Ukraine, when a Russian fighter jet crashed into the crowd, killing 85. In 1988, a mid-air collision of Italy's Air Force team killed 70 people at a U.S. base in Germany.
The guy that was in the middle was supposed to do a loop and pass right in front of him as they were coming, and they took his nose off.
Soon after, Germany banned air shows for a time. But over the last 50 years, no spectators have been killed at air shows here in the U.S., although more than a dozen military planes have crashed during demonstrations. Strict FAA rules on air shows prohibit flying within 1,000 feet of the crowd, allow one pass no closer than 500 feet, and routines must stay inside a strict air show box over the airfield.
So that if something does happen, the only one that's really at danger is the pilot, him or herself.
But the high operation costs of the Navy's Blue Angels and the Air Force's Thunderbirds have made them favorite targets of critics. The Blue Angels alone burn $1,300 of jet fuel per plane every show. Students return to class tomorrow at Virginia Tech 1 week after gunman Sung-Wee Cho killed 32 people. Today, there were more tributes to the fallen, along with new details about the way the crime unfolded. Sharon Alfonsi is in Blacksburg tonight.
This Sunday, congregations across the country joined together in prayer.
And it is a time to acknowledge our pain and not assign blame.
In Blacksburg, bells tolled 32 times for each of the victims. But it is the silence that follows, and the silence that surrounded Sung-Hee Cho, that consumes this campus.
He was exceptionally quiet.
Reagan Wilder knew Cho since the 7th grade. They went to middle school, high school, and later Virginia Tech together.
Would always look past anybody that ever tried to make eye contact with him. Sitting in class, he always sat in the back where he was most unnoticed.
That low profile would later allow Cho to plot his rampage in private for months. He picked up his first gun February 9th from a pawn shop near campus. On March 12th, the New York Times reports Cho rented a van from the regional airport and kept it for nearly a month, or recorded some of his video. He bought a second gun a day later, then showed up at a pistol range to practice. Days later, he started shopping over a series of days, picking up cargo pants, a hunting knife, gloves, ammunition, and chains to lock the doors of Norris Hall shut. Investigators say he fired more than 175 rounds inside that classroom. Today, the Virginia Tech campus has a solemn calm.
Are your friends coming back?
They're coming back, yeah.
Kyle Clayton came back today. Tech expects thousands of students will return to class Monday and reclaim their campus.
I think we need to be here as a community, and we're not going to get better if we just run away from everything that happened last week.
And there will be a heavy police presence on campus tomorrow, but most students say they're not worried. This is where they need to be. Russ?
Sharon Alfonsi in Blacksburg, Virginia. Thanks so much. The Virginia Tech shootings have college administrators taking a hard look at what they can do to spot and stop potential problem students in the future. But as Randall Pinkston tells us, some officials say legal roadblocks are making the job of keeping students safe more difficult.
At colleges across the country, administrators are struggling to reconcile two competing agendas: the rights of students whose mental illnesses may lead to violence against the rights of other students and teachers to be in a safe environment.
We would rather be at risk of the law than at risk to the community.
How you doing? Get up. Richard Berman, president of New York's Manhattanville College, is adamant. If a student poses a potential threat, the first priority should be a solid evaluation by the college's mental health experts.
And then whatever the choice is it hospitalization, is it calling the parents, it ought to be in the hands of that professional. And shouldn't be really governed by the law and shouldn't be governed by the administrator.
But at the moment, colleges are governed by a web of state and federal laws that protect a student's right to privacy, making a college administrator's job difficult.
They try to do the best they can, and if a lawsuit arises, well, some lawsuits have merit and some don't.
Mental illness is a serious problem on American campuses. Last year, an American College Health Association study found more than 9% of students considered suicide at least once. 1% attempted it. To spot problems early, Manhattanville has an internal reporting group. Dorm counselors, coaches, instructors, people who are in regular contact with students who meet once a week to identify students who may be mentally disturbed.
Because the key is to get whatever is needed to that student as quick as you can and as appropriately as you can.
But predicting the movement from troubling behavior to possible dangerous action is no easy task.
Profiles are always much easier to construct after the fact, much more difficult to construct in advance of an incident.
In fact, Dr. Goodstein says that though some of Sung Hee Jo's aberrant behaviors may also be seen in many other people who may be eccentric, but those people cause no harm. So, Russ, even the experts don't know for sure what a person will do.
Yeah, does Dr. Goodstein have any other recommendations as to what colleges can do to try to stop this in the future?
Well, this recommendation comes more from the college president of Manhattanville, which is to make sure that all of the people who come in contact with students keep close watch and make sure that they offer the students the aid that they think they need.
Okay, Randall Pinkston, thanks a lot. And still ahead on tonight's CBS Evening News, a controversial wall to separate warring neighbors in Baghdad.
Does your restless mind keep you from sleeping? Do you lie awake, exhausted, but still can't sleep? Maybe it's time to ask your doctor if Lunesta's right for you. For a limited time, you're invited to take the Lunesta 7-Night Challenge. Ask your doctor how to get 7 nights of Lunesta absolutely free and see if it's the sleep aid you've been looking for. Non-narcotic Lunesta can help you get a full night's sleep. Lunesta helps you fall asleep quickly, so take it right before bed. Be sure you have at least 8 hours to devote to sleep before becoming active. Until you know how you'll react to Lunesta, you should not drive or operate machinery. Do not take Lunesta with alcohol. Most sleep medicines carry some risk of dependency. Side effects may include unpleasant taste, headache, drowsiness, and dizziness. Hurry! The Lunesta 7-Night Challenge ends May 31st. Get your coupon at lunesta.com and ask your doctor today.
Beltone is conducting an important open hearing technology trial. If you have difficulties hearing in noisy environments, you might be a candidate. Call or come in to see if you qualify.
Heartburn? Painful. Zantac. Okay. Zantac quickly relieves heartburn. Better? Completely. Zantac's fast. Heartburn? Yeah. Prescription. Slow. The leading prescription can take a day or more to fully work. Zantac. Better. Zantac's fast. For heartburn, Zantac's fast.
I feel great. Really great, even with osteoporosis. And you know what? Deciding on a treatment with my doctor was almost easier than deciding what to wear tonight. To treat my osteoporosis, I take Boniva, 1 pill a month. Boniva helps me build strong, healthy bones to prevent fractures.
Unlike weekly treatments like Fosamax, you only need Boniva once a month.
So for me, Boniva was just a smart choice.
You should not take Boniva if you have low blood calcium, severe kidney disease, or cannot sit or stand for at least 60 minutes. Follow dosing instructions carefully. Stop taking Boniva and tell your doctor if you experience difficult or painful swallowing, chest pain, or severe or continuing heartburn, as these may be signs of serious upper digestive problems.
Look, having strong, healthy bones is so important. I've got this one body and this one life, so I'm going to do my best to get it right. Talk to your doctor about Boniva. I'm glad I did.
Don't wait another week. Ask your doctor for a free trial offer or call 1-800-4-BONIVA. Once monthly Boniva.
It fuels our lives and creates the products we depend on. It powers our workforce. It brings us home and gives us warmth. It lets us travel the earth and reach for the sky. Vital for life, too precious to waste. Oil and natural gas. Together, let's use it wisely. Learn more at energytomorrow.org.
A runoff in 2 weeks will decide the winner of the French presidential election. Conservative Nicolas Sarkozy finished first in today's first round of voting. He will face socialist Ségolène Royal, who is trying to become France's first woman president. The death toll continues to rise in the bloody civil war in Somalia. A human rights group says at least 47 more people died today in Mogadishu, raising the 5-day total to more than 200. More than 300,000 refugees are said to have fled the fighting. It has also been another terrible day in Iraq. At least 72 Iraqis were killed or found dead, and the U.S. military said 3 more American soldiers have died. And there's news about the U.S. construction of a Baghdad wall. Mark Strassman has more.
A double attack, a pair of suicide bombers targeting a Baghdad police station. Just moments apart, the twin explosions killed at least 13 people, wounded dozens more, and collapsed nearby businesses, putting more people into Iraq's sky-high ranks of the jobless. This is the only thing we can earn our living from, he says, and it was demolished. Where is the government? Baghdad has seen 2 surges in recent weeks. One surge by U.S. troops in a security crackdown, the other by suicide attackers that killed dozens of people in one strike after another, despite thousands more American troops patrolling the capital city. Baghdad's overall murder rate has dropped in half, but suicide attacks? Even U.S. commanders say Iraqis have to expect more of those.
There is no, we would say, silver bullet, you might say magic formula for solving that problem. There is no technological solution that will guarantee that we can prevent either a suicide bomber or a suicide car bomber from entering into the populated areas.
This is one controversial U.S. solution. Build a 12-foot concrete wall, this one to be 3 miles long, to separate warring neighborhoods of Sunni Muslims and Shia Muslims. Construction so dangerous, U.S. soldiers build it only at night. And on both sides, many residents agree on one thing: the wall will solve nothing. He says it will encourage the sectarian differences, the killings and the looting. But as an approach, the wall may be too controversial. Late tonight, Iraqi Prime Minister Nouri al-Maliki ordered its construction stopped, saying there are other ways to protect neighborhoods. With or without it, this remains a very divided city. Mark Strassman, CBS News, Baghdad.
Just ahead on tonight's CBS Evening News, we'll change directions and talk sports. The feud of the century. Smokin' Joe Frazier on Muhammad Ali.
That was my hunger, roaring at me all the time. I tried diets, exercise, pills. Then my doctor recommended the lap band system.
It's a device placed around your stomach to help tame your hunger. As with any surgery, there are possible risks and complications with the lap band system, including but not limited to infection, nausea, vomiting, band slippage, and obstruction. Visit lapband.com or call 1-800-391-7720 for more risk information. Ask your doctor if you qualify.
And start taming your hunger.
We have Medicare supplement insurance because, well, there are gaps in your Medicare coverage that Medicare supplement insurance will
Supplement?
It's exactly what it does.
Mutual of Omaha Insurance Company. Insure life. Begin today.
A good breakfast is always in season, and this spring it's just $4.99. Denny's weekday breakfast has arrived. Only $4.99 for 2 eggs, bacon and sausage, hash browns, and 2 pancakes. This special won't last long, so come to Denny's Monday through Friday.
Oh, what a perfect day. Oh no, nasal allergy congestion strikes again. It's everywhere, outside and in. Prescription Nasonex helps relieve congestion and other nasal allergy symptoms. Maybe that's why 6 million people used Nasonex last year.
Side effects were generally mild and included headache, viral infection, sore throat, nosebleeds, and coughing.
For congestion and other nasal allergy symptoms, ask your doctor about Nasonex.
Just because I'm a doctor doesn't mean I don't worry about my cholesterol.
Inventor of the Jarvik artificial heart, Dr. Robert Jarvik.
For many people like me, diet and exercise aren't enough. But adding Lipitor significantly lowers bad cholesterol, 39 to 60%. I take it because it does more than that. Unlike some cholesterol medicines, Lipitor is FDA approved to reduce the risk of heart attack and stroke if you have several common risk factors for heart disease. And Lipitor is one of the most researched medicines. You don't have to be a doctor to appreciate that. Lipitor is not for everyone, including people with liver problems and women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. You need simple blood tests to check for liver problems. Tell your doctor if you're taking other medications or if you have any muscle pain or weakness. This may be a sign of a rare but serious side effect. Lipitor is one of many treatment options to consider with your doctor. Lowering cholesterol is important, but could you be doing more with Lipitor? Ask your doctor. Don't wait.
Kill all rats, man. You run with police.
Is rap music to blame for some unsolved crimes? He thinks so.
This is murder.
The story on 60 Minutes tonight.
This week, household products, children's toys, outdoor items. Are you at risk of serious injury, even death at your own house? A warning about the hazards that could be lurking in your home on The Early Show.
The heavyweight title bout between Joe Frazier and Muhammad Ali some 36 years ago has been called the fight of the century. Until then, the two men had been friends, but for Frazier, the run-up to the fight left deep emotional scars. Byron Pitts caught up with Frazier at Joe's Philadelphia gym.
As you'd expect, Smokin' Joe Frazier still loves to hit things.
Want to see what I got left?
Oh, no, sir. I trust you. But what did surprise me,
you've hit me 10 times with that cane. Are you going to keep hitting me with that?
Is how funny and easygoing he can be, despite all the difficult days he's had outside the ring. For the one-time baddest boxer on the planet, it's now a struggle to just get upstairs.
100 fights, you walk away fine, one car accident, and you hurt yourself.
Fast cars and slow women.
Yeah? Oh. And all those millions from all those big fights, most of it's gone, lost to bad investments and bad associations. Still, Frazier seems content, scratching out a modest income from public appearances. And his gym, which still draws young contenders and wannabes.
That's right.
Frazier also says he's moved beyond the hard feelings that once bordered on hatred for Muhammad Ali.
Wait till I get you in the ring.
Who added venom to the sweet science with his brutal, race-baiting verbal jabs at Frazier. Most don't know this, but when Ali was stripped of his title, it was Frazier who lent him money, lobbied for his reinstatement, even drove Ali to a hearing.
As soon as you got out of the car, you know what I mean? That's Joe Frazier. Here's Joe Frazier. Joe Frazier got my title. I want my title. I want to fight Joe Frazier. So he got out of hand, you know. He called me this, he called me that.
Time is important here.
Frazier, of course, exacted his revenge in their first fight. he would lose the next 2 fights. Did Ali apologize to you?
Yes.
He did?
Not me, but it was television. And
through the television.
Yeah.
But he never picked up the phone and said, "Hey, Joe, I'm sorry."
No, I've done that to him. But therefore, it's all forgiveness now.
What makes you forgive him? How were you able? Is it just age, time passes by?
No, well, it's just like, you know, you have to forgive people.
Smoking Joe Frazier, sharp as a razor.
His son Marvis hopes fans can find a soft spot for Smoking Joe, just as they have for boxing legends like Ali and George Foreman.
Joe Frazier's a man that anybody can touch, they can feel, and when you see him, he's always willing to shake your hand, to help you if you're down.
Frazier is a generous man. I saw it firsthand. You're giving this to me?
Yeah, why not?
An autographed trophy right off his office wall. It's that generosity that's both helped and hindered his life in and out of boxing. But for better or worse, Joseph William Frazier made his living and his legacy with that heart and those hands.
I'm living good. I'm doing things to help others and letting me help put a smile on my face.
He makes no apologies for any of it. Byron Pitts, CBS News, Philadelphia.
And coming up on tonight's CBS Evening News, an Earth Day portrait of a genuine grassroots environmentalist.
A good breakfast is always in season, and this spring it's just $4.99. Denny's weekday breakfast has arrived. Only $4.99 for 2 eggs, bacon and sausage, hash browns, and 2 pancakes. This special won't last long, so come to Denny's Monday through Friday.
S-A-T-U-R-D-A-Y, night! S-A-T-U-R-D-A-Y.
Spend every Saturday night with the nut that tastes famously fresh. Planters. Put out the good stuff.
You know how it goes. There's your love life. And there's your life. That's why for guys like me with ED, there's Cialis. Cialis is the only erectile dysfunction tablet clinically proven to both go to work fast, in as little as 30 minutes for some men, and work up to 36 hours. With Cialis, I can have the option of being ready fast, or have up to 36 hours to relax, knowing I can be ready when the moment is finally right.
Tell your doctor about your medical conditions and all medications, and ask if you're healthy enough for sexual activity. Don't take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Don't drink alcohol in excess with Cialis. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help if you experience priapism, an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease in vision, stop taking Cialis and call your doctor right away.
Why ask your doctor about Cialis?
Because life can be full of interruptions. When the moment is right, you can be ready with Cialis.
Want to give your style a push?
Push, play, and go.
Introducing Pantene Texturize for layered looks. Just push and play. The Pro V formula gives dull, boring hair healthy texture, all-day lift, and hold for style that lets you stand out and shine. Chunky, PC, funky, fun. Get ready to play. New Pantene Texturize. New line, a new look for Pantene.
The Hyundai Azera Limited has a luxurious leather-trimmed interior. So does the Lexus LS460. The Azera has a premium 10-speaker 6-CD audio system. The Lexus does too. The Azera has dual-zone automatic climate control. The Lexus does as well. However, the Lexus can parallel park itself. And the Azera can't. But at half the price, you can easily afford to have someone park the Azera for you. The Hyundai Azera. Smart move.
The flap over rap. It's getting bigger as more and more members of the black community are saying enough. Enough of the lyrics that advocate violence and denigrate women, and enough of the negative stereotypes. Monday, Bill Whitaker takes you inside the rap music industry for a look at how it works, who's making the money, and who's buying the music on the CBS Evening News with Katie Couric.
As 500 million people around the world celebrate Earth Day today, one unlikely environmental hero is being recognized in San Francisco for his efforts to save the rivers and lakes of his own faraway country. John Blackstone reports.
From Mongolia to San Francisco is not the only way Setsuji Monkbayar has come a long way. On the Mongolian steppes, he's a herdsman of sheep and cattle who's become his country's leading environmental activist. In San Francisco, it's clear the city is not his kind of place. So many big buildings, he says. Why do they need all the tall buildings? Where he comes from, there are few buildings and plenty of space. But development is moving into Mongolia. Huge gold mining operations are diverting so much water that rivers are running dry. And that turned this herder into a crusader. He says he started seeing the damage done to his river and had to act. Traveling from village to village, he has organized tens of thousands to push the government to protect rivers. Mining companies are beginning to change their ways. Now, Montclair has come to San Francisco as one of 6 winners of the annual Goldman Environmental Prizes. $125,000 awards were established to recognize grassroots environmentalism around the world.
These are truly grassroots. Never heard of, probably outside of their country, but they're doing the kind of things that is a total dedication.
Even in the frigid Mongolian winter, Montclair says the rivers are an essential part of life on the steppes, a way of life he hopes to save for himself and his children. He says he hopes to return to his old life one day when he's won the battles and his river is running full once again. John Blackstone, CBS News, San Francisco.
And we'll be back.
It was so frustrating, like a mystery I couldn't solve. Night after night, strange sensations in my legs kept me from falling asleep. So I had to get up and move when all I wanted to do was rest. I had restless leg syndrome. My doctor confirmed it. He said with restless leg syndrome, the symptoms usually get worse at night or in the evening when it's time to relax. And then he said something else, Requip. He said Requip would help relieve those RLS symptoms that kept me from getting to sleep. He told me what to watch for, that Requip may cause you to fall asleep or feel very sleepy during normal activities such as driving, or to faint or feel dizzy when you stand up. Tell your doctor if you experience these problems, or if you drink alcohol or are taking medicines that make you drowsy. Side effects include nausea, drowsiness, vomiting, and dizziness. Most patients were not bothered enough to stop taking Requip. Thanks to Requip, the RLS mystery is not keeping me up anymore. Ask your doctor if Requip can help put your RLS to rest.
Finally this evening, one of those stories you may find hard to believe you would still see in 2007. Black and white students both pitched in this weekend to set up the first integrated prom at the Turner County High School in Georgia, breaking the long unofficial tradition of separate proms. Senior class officers led the campaign for the combined event. And that's the CBS Evening News. Later on CBS 60 Minutes and more on the Virginia Tech gunman. Thanks for joining us this Sunday evening. I'm Russ Mitchell, CBS News in New York. I'll see you again first thing tomorrow on The Early Show. Good night.
From Iraq to Washington, from Wall Street to Main Street, Katie Couric and the CBS News team of correspondents have you covered weeknights on the CBS Evening News.
The Secret Service protects the president from assassins. So why are agents so focused on school shootings like Virginia Tech? 60 Minutes tonight.
CBS News. See it now, anytime, anywhere.
Next on CBS 2 News at 6, shots fired and 2 dead at a local luxury resort. We are live on the scene.
Plus, a veteran LA congresswoman loses her battle with cancer.
And it was a cloudy, drizzly Sunday out there. Your Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday looking terrific. Temperatures back into the 70s. All that and more coming your way.
Those stories and Steve Hartman with sports.
It's all next on the new HD CBS 2 News at 6.
XM, 170 channels to find what turns you on.
Our engineers gave the all-new GMC Sierra more payload capacity than Toyota Tundra or Nissan Titan for when you're on the job. And better highway fuel economy for getting to and from the job. The all-new redesigned GMC Sierra